it's not running where it should.
Yes.
You know, might
because it'll only run when it's hit.
Or the other thing, might need to cut over the ears to get its mind on the job, which often happens, Roy. You know, you've been no stranger to, unleash the shillelagh at Rooting King when he was bludgeoning.
I know. Hey, look,
I mean, it's called the Persuader for a very good reason.
I know. And look, I take no joy out of it.
No. But you're a professional.
It was a battle of personalities. Yeah. You know, that bludger sometimes.
Gave you the shit.
Yes.
Yeah,
I knew he wasn't putting in. No. He knew he wasn't putting in. He just wanted to see how much he could get away with it. You know, and I'd see him, buddy, almost winking at the crowd when he got another 100 metres without being hit.
Oh, no, it's like that. He was cutting as a shit-ass rat.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Look.
Exactly. You know, and I'm telling you now, I would flog the king sometimes well after the race had finished. I'd just take him out the bout and give him a bloody thrashing just to bloody well let him know that I was still alive.
Just leaving all that there. We did get an email this week from Peter Adams.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
Look, he's a very keen listener to our handiwork.
Yes.
He said he loved listening to the talk of Roy playing for the Shamrocks that we had this time last week, I think.
Oh, yes.
And he liked the story about how he non-intentionally killed an opposition player 2 weeks in a row.
Yes, I did. Yes. No, it was a shocking time. Yeah.
Did you think football put you through that? Because you must have gone. You must have worried about your technique as you're going into.
Look, I did, but Coach Crennel was really good about it. You know, the first time it happened when I hit the bloke, as I said at the time, I said to you, I probably hit him a bit harder than I needed to. But there was absolutely nothing wrong with the tackle. And, you know, my first reaction was I started shouting at him, "Get up, you lazy bastard!" I was shouting at him. You know, the ambulance blokes came out, the St John's people were really good, and they shook their heads and gave the thumbs down. I said, "You're not bullshit, get him up." I started kicking him, kicking the stiff, you know. And Grassy got me aside and said, "He's dead, Roy." And I said, "No, he's just bucking it on." But he was dead.
And did the football community reach out and touch you in that moment of crisis?
Well, yeah, we went to the Railway Hotel that night and really tied one on.
Fair enough.
You know, a number of the constables, local young constables who were in town, joined us for a few days, shouted us one as well, because the bloke that I nailed wasn't a tremendously popular member in the community. You know, I don't think.
Car stealer?
Well, I don't know. The less said about him, the better, really. But the bloke I killed the following week, he was a lovely bloke. And I couldn't believe it, because as I said to Grassy, I said, "Look, mate, it's the sweetest tackle I've ever made." He said, "Well, Roy, there was nothing wrong with the tackle. It was perfect." The bloke just had a diggy heart.
This is the life.
Last year. Now, it was most decisive on it goes. Roy, were you ever one to tell the opponents what you'd be doing with Rooting King? I mean, did you ever go in the media and on television, and I know on the radio in the morning of a big race when you often used to appear on racing radio?
Yes.
As part of three-way turf tour?
That's right.
Be you, somebody like,
Ronnie
Ronnie Dufficy, and, the announcer, and you just rabbit on about things. Did you ever give anything away? Could you pull the head in a direction that you didn't want it to go and sometimes turn out to advantage?
Look, I try to be honest all the time, actually. Because you've got to remember that the King was a personality horse, still is. Doesn't race anymore, of course, except in his own mind, which is another story in itself, because he was very disappointed the other day because he lost in his own mind. Go figure. Anyway, I've had to deal with it. I have.
Did you show him the shotgun?
I did. Fair enough. I did, and I played Slade very loudly for a good 2.5 days, just to
in the stable.
Yeah, come on, feel the noise is what I played. In the stable there, just to buck him up. No, I would always be honest. I'd say, listen, the King's going out there to win.
Mm-hmm.
We're not in this race to make up the numbers.
No.
We're going to win.
Uh-huh.
And if it means leading from the front, we're going to lead from the front. And I don't mind leading from the front, because I always knew once the King got his nose in the front, it wouldn't matter if it was in the first metre or on the last furlong, he was going to win.
Now, did you do speed maps and suggest, like maybe you're in against, Tulloch?
Yes.
You raced against Tulloch many, many times.
Yes, I did. Boxed him in a number of times. Boxed her in, I should say.
That's right, finished fourth.
That's right. Now, I never wanted to be boxed in. George used to drive me crazy. If ever a jockey got the King boxed in, because I knew the King would box himself in, it had to be deliberate. It had to be the actions of the jockey to get him there. If that happened, I would take the jockey out the back, actually, and sometimes I'd nearly drown the bucket. Honestly. Honestly, I'd fill a bloody bucket with the king's phlegm and stick his head in it until he was going, you know, that sort of stuff.
Again, Roy.
Then I'd pull his head out and say, listen, you boxing it again, Clown. I'm not taking your head out of the bucket.
This is The Live.